Welcome to Yeshiva, the Avshir sponsor, Nishbas, I'm Yaakov Shalom, and Lab Sitzchok. We're starting now the new parak, Yesh Noichlim. Very important parak, long parak with many details. And we'll start the first daf, starting at Kuf Ches Amud Aleph in the Mishnah. Yesh Noichlim u'manchilim, v'yesh Noichlim v'loy manchilim, manchilim v'loy Noichlim, loy manchilim v'loy manchilim, loy Noichlim v'loy manchilim. Meaning, this is, I think, a word I learned last cycle, that manchilim, the translation of it in English is bequeath. There are those that bequeath their inheritance to the next people. There are those that inherit. There are those, the relation between two parties, it could be the one bequeaths to the other and inherits from the other. It could be the one bequeaths to the other but does not inherit from the other. It could be one inherits to the other but doesn't bequeath to the other. It could be there's no relationship.
What's bequeath?
Bequeath means that when he dies, he gives his property to the generation. For example, when a father dies, the father bequeaths his property to his children, and the children inherit the property from the father. And we'll see, so what does the Mishnah say? Yesh noichlim u'manchilim. There are those that bequeath and inherit from the same party. Yesh noichlim, they inherit v'loy manchilim, but they don't bequeath. Manchilim, they bequeath, but they don't inherit. Loy nechalim v'loy manchilim, and some do neither. Ve'elu, so that's the Mishnah of the first case. Elu noichlim manchilim, who are the ones that bequeath and inherit? Ha'av, who's that? So it says like this. Ha'av esabonim v'abodisav. The father to the son, and the son to the father. Which means, the father bequeaths to the sons, and inherits from them if they died. The sons inherit the father, and bequeath to the father if he died. If they died. Right?
I think bequeath means to receive, and inherit means to give.
No, the opposite.
Technical difference?
The opposite. Bequeath is to give.
I said bequeath means to give or designate.
To give, to designate, to from a Yerusha perspective, the property, what a person gives from him, his own, he gives a Yerusha to the other party. The other party inherits. And it works out the both ways. Now, as the Torah right away points out, these first two cases, the Mishnah says exactly the same. The father bequeaths to the kids and they inherit from him. And the kids bequeath for the father and he inherits from them. Right? So, if I say that noichli u'manchilim, should the avos abonim, they go both ways. Bonim u'sav, both ways, exact same thing. It's just a question of who we're talking first, who's talking second. So that's what Taish points out. He says, you're right. Well, the reason we're pointing it out because we want to get to the next cases where we'll see it doesn't go both ways. And Taish brings you a different reason why it says this way. You want to say maybe it's bonim v'loy bonos. We have different reasons to say it this way. Okay. The brothers for a father, which means parental brothers that share the same father. So also they inherit the brother and they bequeath to the brother. As we will see, we know this already. This is something that you can't do. This is one of the first sugyas that are going to go into the sugya of Yom Kippur and the sugya beginning next week. Is what is the Seder Yerusha? What is the order? Well, we'll see. The first order of Yerusha is, someone dies, who's the first order supposed to inherit him? The son. That's number one. It doesn't have a son. Now I have Seder Yerusha. So we'll see if I have the son, the daughter. If I have the daughter, the father of the person who died. If I have the father, the brothers. Which brothers? Parental brothers. The ones that share the same father. So, brothers that share the same father, they inherit from the brother, and they bequeath to the brother, because it goes both ways, the brothers. So, if one of them dies and has no children, has no father, his Yerusha will go to his brother, and vice versa.
How does a wife play into this?
Now, we'll get to that. Why do we get to that? Now, here in this part of the Mishnah, regarding the brothers, meaning the brothers inherit, there's a big discussion in the Achronim, big chakira, and the chakira really goes into different shittas in the Rishonim, through many shittas in the Rishonim, the Rashbam, the Toises, the Rambam, the Riv, the Ran, many. What's the chakira? Just to know the chakira. What's the pshat that a brother inherits his brother? Is the pshat is that he inherits because of the father? What? Because the order is, Reuven dies. The chassid goes to his children. He doesn't have children. Goes to his daughter. Doesn't have a daughter. Goes to his father Yaakov. He doesn't have a daughter Yaakov. He'll go to his brother Shimon. Doesn't have a father Yaakov. He goes to his brother Shimon. Why is Shimon inheriting Reuven? Because the father is inheriting the father?
You mean, does it go back up first and then down?
Yeah, exactly. Does Shimon inherit Reuven directly? Or Shimon is inheriting Reuven because of the father? That's the big chakira. Rekiveger, Kavet Shurim, it has to go to K'tzais. Big chakira. Ma'av Kamina. So there's several of Kamina. Just to mention two of them. One of them is, let's say the father has a Baal Choiv, he has a lender. Right? So if you say it goes first to the father, and the father's not there, it goes to the brother. So if the father has a lender, the lender takes it first. But if it goes directly from one brother to another, and the father has a lender, it's nothing to do with his Yerusha. That's one example.
When the father entered into a debt, he didn't have any shibud.
Yeah, so that's a roy. That's called a roy. If there's a Baal Choiv, take beroy. Roy means something will come later. The din is in general, yes. It's a good point. If it wasn't there yet, where is it called roy?
But if the father isn't there, how can you say it goes first to the father?
That we'll see in the Gemara. We'll see that a lot. It's called. The Gemara is going to call it. The Gemara is going to call it mishmush.
Because of his father.
No, there is such a thing of Yerusha. It's called Yerusha Bekever. That's how the mother works. We'll see that because the way the mother works, when you have a son, you have a mother. A person inherits from the mother because usually you go through the father. What's the mother? You get the mother as well. If the mother's not there, so the mother's inheriting, and then you get from the mother. So you will see there is such a concept called Yerusha Bekever. It's called Mishmush. That's a loshon. Mishmush. So it goes up, it goes down. So one of the Kavita is about Chayv. There's another of Kavita. What happens if the father designates somebody? Let's say Reuben has two brothers. He has Shimon and Levi. Now Reuben dies, and the father's not there. But the father said that this Yerusha should go only to Shimon, not to Levi. So if you say it goes through the father can choose who he wants to give it to. But if it doesn't have nothing to do with the father, it goes directly from Reuben to his brothers, the father has nothing to do with it. So that's two of the several different afkaminas that the Acharim point out, and different rayas for different Rishonim, how to learn it. But this is a big sugya regarding the brothers. Okay. Continue on. Haishas imoy, somebody to his mother. Vaishas ishtoi, somebody to his wife. Ubnei achayos, and the daughters of achayos, we'll see in a moment what that means. They will inherit but not bequeath. So here, and this goes to your question regarding bequeath. How does that work? Here goes very good pushback. One inherits his mother, meaning the mother died, and there's no husband. Assume there's no husband. Who is going to inherit her? Her children. If the son dies, does the mother inherit the child? No. Mother does not inherit the child ever.
If he has no children, no yashim.
No children, it goes to his father. No father goes to his brother. Doesn't go brother, goes to his uncles.
His father's not here.
So it goes to his uncles or his brothers.
He doesn't have a brother. It never goes back to the mother.
Now, there is a case it goes back to a mother, but that's only as we have it in the thing in tomorrow's daf. If the mother is related, like she's still married, so as a relation. But in general, you don't have a direct Yerusha. The mother does not inherit the son. So here you have the mother's bequeathing, and if she dies, the son inherits her. But the son does not bequeath to the mother. So Aishas imoy, Vaishas isha, same thing with the wife. The wife dies, the husband inherits her. That we'll learn from a pasuk. The husband dies, the wife does not inherit him. Ubnei Achayos, in all these cases, Noichel Lam and Chila. What is Bnei Achayos? The Rashbam brings two explanations over here. Let's see over here. Bnei Achayos, the Rashbam, towards the middle of the page, it starts at the beginning of the line. Bnei Achayos, Noichel Lam and Chila, the Ben Noichel is Achois Imoy. Right? Meaning the son inherits the mother's sister. Shayubah B'Karcheim, Vilumesa Dudoso.
Inherits the mother or mother's sister? What's it?
Mother, if the mother died before and the sister dies, he inherits the aunt.
You mean the aunt has no children and no spouse?
Right. That's what Rashbam says over here. The Ben Nechlas Achois Imoy Shayubah B'Karcheim. Vilumesa Dudoso B'Chei Imoy. If the aunt would die while the mother's alive, Imo Yirash Yirashta. The mother will inherit her if there's no other people. The sister can inherit. Right? So that's one way to say Bnei Achayos. So Bnei Achayos means they inherit his aunt. Now skip down to the Lashon Acher. It's also beginning of the line. It's beginning of the line. It's in the middle of the big Rashbam, next Rashbam. You go down, it starts with the words Lamed Aleph, which means Lashon Acher. The Rashbam says Lashon Acher, Bnei Achois Shel Reuven. Not his aunt. His niece. His nephews. The nephews. Keep going. Bnei Dino Noichel Imoy, meaning his nephews inherit him. It's basically the same concept, just the opposite. Meaning, when we say Bnei Achayos beginning, it says that a person inherits his aunt. When we say Bnei Achayos means that the nephews inherit the uncle. Similar idea. So are we focusing on, are we talking about him, that he is inheriting his aunt, but doesn't give it back to her? Or he's talking about his nephews, that they inherit him, but they don't give it back to him? Two ways to understand. Hayisha's baneo, a woman to her children. Vayisha's baila, a woman to her husband. Ve'achem, manchil v'lo noichlim, they bequeath, but they don't inherit. Now, if you realize this exact opposite case of the previous one, right? A mother to her children, that's the opposite a person to his mother. Eishes imoy. Hayishes bailo is the opposite of Eishes ishta. Umimele bnei achayos depends on two pshatim in the Rashbam. If bnei achayos means that he's inheriting his aunt, so it means achayim, meaning that his aunt does not inherit him. And if it means like the second pshat of Rashbam, that his nephews inherit him, so achayim means he doesn't bequeath to his. So he bequeaths to them, it doesn't inherit to him. And maternal brothers, they share the same mother. They don't bequeath and don't inherit. Because for the mother, you don't have a Yerusha. Very good. So that was the Mishnah. Zog the Gemara. My Shno, the Ketani, what was the case? What is the case that we're talking about in the beginning of the Mishnah? Ha'av is abonim. The first case of the Mishnah is the father inherits the children, and then the abonim sav. Now, ha'av is abonim. Is that something normal? No, that's a terrible thing. That means the kids die before the father. So the Gemara is asking, first talk about the father inheriting his children. You say the opposite case. Why? Why are you talking about something bad? It's talking about something bad that the father inherits the children. That means the children are before him. The pasuk, the classic pasuk about Yerusha, speaks about someone dying and he doesn't have a child. Yeah, in other words, he dies and it goes to the children. Why really the Mishnah said that? That's a drasha. The drasha, the father inherits a kid because the father is not mentioned in the pasuk. My drasha, what's the drasha? So here we're going to the pasuk. We're starting with the pasuk. It says in the pasuk that Losha pasuk is like this. Okay, but you say like this. Ish ki yamus ubein eloi. Someone died and he does not have children. Then you give the Yerusha to his daughter. Then what's the next pasuk? Pimein lubas. Starts with Amilu Chavzayin pasuk ches. I just read pasuk ches. What's pasuk ches? Yes, the next pasuk. Doesn't have a daughter. So you give it to the brother. And then to the uncle. Yeah. Oh, and that's the next pasuk. That's what we're supposed to right now. So here it sounds in the psukim, the last one in the line is sheira.
What's the sheira?
Oh, what's sheira karvel? So now the Gemara is going to bring the next, starting here, and then we'll go to the next stuff. Tomorrow's Daf Yom Kippur. Two main pshat of what sheira karvel mean. Does it mean the father, or it means the wife? Okay, so we'll get to that. Right now, the Gemara is going to say it's the father, but it's last in the list. And we're learning it's not last on the list, it's actually second. I mean, you give it to the son, if there's no son, you give it to the daughter, if you don't daughter, then you go to the father. So that's a problem with the sequence of the psukim. But let's start first of all with the drush. Get that. Sheira is the father, says the Gemara. Milamed shoav koidim lachin. The father comes before the brothers. Now, and as Rashbam puts it right away, because how do you know it comes before the fathers? It says in the end of the pasuk. So I didn't know where it comes before. Says, and the Gemara is going to tell us, we're going to see that the pasuk shall kesidim k'tivi. Okay. So says the Gemara, Yochol yakoidim laben. Maybe you say, once I know they have to change the pasuk. How do you have to change the pasuk? Because Rashbam puts, look at the Rashbam over here, towards the end of the narrow lines. That's up. The Rashbam says, the pasuk don't write that way. The pasuk say sheir last. It's not in order. Why? The the closer to him, it says whoever's closer gets it first. Because it teach you it's not written in order. You have to change the order. So what is going to be the order? So he brings over here the Rashbam. That's you should not be ordering. Someone who dies, they give it to the daughter. The sheir moves from the end to the ear. And you get to the brothers. That's the word says right now. So in other words, sheir is written in the end. I'm moving it from the end to the middle. We're in the middle, between the daughter and the brother. Says the Gemara, how do you know that? How do you know the father goes first? The son is more closer, so it makes sense the son comes before the father. So why are you saying that the father comes before the brother and not before the son? So again, the order of the pasuk is son, daughter, brother, sister, sheir. But it doesn't occur to tell you it's not in order. So I'm moving the sheir from spot number 5 to spot number 3. So how do you know? Maybe you get spot number 1. So says that the son is closer than the father. So maybe spot number 4, the father is more than the brother. So how do you know that? That he goes before the father. The brother. So the Gemara, that's the reason. The son can replace his father with yud. What's a yud? Today, if you take an Amri Ivriya, a woman, slave, the father can marry her, and the son can marry her too. These are the only ones who can marry her. The brother cannot marry her.
Why would you think you should go ahead of the son?
I don't know. It says in the pasuk that the father is not in order. Sheir have to move. The word card tells you move it. So the shaila is, you move it before what? I want to say now, the order of Nachal Torah says son, daughter, brother, uncle.
The question first in the Gemara is...
One second. So the Gemara now says like this. We learned, let's finish the understanding. Sheir is sit afterwards. You need to move it in or earlier. So the Gemara, where should I move it earlier? After son, one second. After son, before brother. So well, why? Why do you think the father is less than the son? Why is he less than the son and more than a brother? What makes the father less than the son, less close to the son or person, and more than a brother? So I'll tell you why. In the Torah, except emotional, ideas. Son. Look, where do we find such a thing in the Torah? First, I'll tell you. The son can marry the Amei Avio like his father. So you see, the son is more than the brother. The brother cannot marry the Amei Avio. Says the Gemara. And another thing, is the Achuzo. Also is the Achuzo. What's the Achuzo? The son inherits the father. But the son has a difference. The Achuzo. When you go in your Magdish is the Achuzo to Beis Hamikdash, so if someone else redeems it, in the Yovel it goes to the Kohanim. If the father redeems, if the one who's Magdish redeems it, so it goes in the Yovel stays by him. What happens if his son redeems it? It also goes back to him. What happens if the brother redeems it? It doesn't go back to him. So you see, the son is considered like the father and not the brother. Says the Gemara, Adirabo, I'll tell you why the brother's closer than the son. Whoa. The brother does Yibum, the son doesn't do Yibum. Right? So if you have a brother who died with no children, his brother will marry his wife. So you see they're very, very close. So says the Gemara, Klum Yeshibu and Makom Shein Ben. Abimoko Ben, because Yesh Ben and Yibum. Says the Gemara, the pshat is, that itself is the best ride. When does the brother come in? If there's no children. If there's children, and only the brother. So that means that the children are more than the father, than the brother. The brother's only there if there's no children, then he can marry the wife. If there is children, not. So even though the son cannot do Yibum, because there's no din Yibum. Because once the father died with children, so there's no din for Yibum. Once I don't have children, I'm missing the child who is very chashuv, I have a brother. So you see the brother only comes in lieu of a son. So you see the son comes first. It says more time just because you have this question. That what? That Yibum is only causing that way. Halav, in other words, Yibum is not a good raya. If not for the question, I would say that brother is greater. Why the brother is greater? Teipuklei, says the Gemara, would have kuftes the son has two reasons to be important. A, he is by Amevrio. B, is the Achuzo. The brother is only one. The brother is only Yibum. So what? That itself should be good enough to tell you not to do it. Says the Gemara, how do you know that the Achuzo, the son, when a person is Magdish the Achuzo, the son has the same concept like the father, but the brother doesn't? How do you know that? So this is not our sugi over here, but it's a sugi Maseches Erchin, and you learn there the same reason. You learn it for the same idea. Klum Yeshibu and Makom Shein Ben Yesh Ben and Yibum. In other words, Bezdei Achuz, you wanted to know who does the Achuz. The other one is a drush to tell you it's one of them, either the son or the brother. Who is it? So maybe it's the son because the son does Yud with Amei Ivrio. Say, well, no, maybe it's the brother because he does Yibum. Say, well, no, but Yibum is only when there's no son. So you want to tell me, if I don't have that taina, I don't even know he has the Achuzah. You want to say it's 2 against 1, it's not 2 against 1. The only reason it's 2 is because of the question of Yibum. So that's why I have to use the question of Yibum. If I wouldn't have the question of Yibum, I would not know you have 2 by the son. Says the Gemara, so one more line regarding this. Maybe you tell me Sheiro is the father. From here you learn the father is before the daughter. Could he be is greater than the son? Maybe you'll say that the father is before the daughter. Remember, what's the order of Yerusha? Son, daughter, brother, sister. And I'm saying that the father goes between the daughter and brother and uncle. Son, the pasuk says son, daughter, brother, uncle.
Brother?
And then it says uncle. Uncle, leave alone for now. Then it says father. We put the father between the daughter and the brother. who said maybe put it between the son and the daughter. Maybe the father should go before the daughter.
You had the father's list?
Third. And right now it says Sheir of last. But we know we have to move it because there's a curve. So do you go to place number 3? The more until now says, okay, put it in place number 3. So who said maybe it's place number 4? Says that we know it's greater, the son is greater than the brother. Now, maybe the order is different. I said the question a little differently. But how do you know it's before it's place number 3? Maybe it's place number 2. Maybe it's between the son and the daughter. You say a svar of kurva. But Yibum and son and the daughter are the same. So they want to tell you why son and daughter go together. And because the Torah says Karev, the kurva goes together, but Yibum and son and daughter together. If there's a son or a daughter, there's no Yibum. So also here the son and the daughter are together. And if the if the father doesn't come before the son, he also doesn't come before the daughter. Okay, so we'll stop over here. The Gemara is going to continue a little bit of discussion into the next half, which Be'ez Hashem we'll see on Yom Kippur. A good event, Shliyar.